world. It's your boy C's from the CZLife.com. Welcome back to the people's favorite channel on the internet. Today, YSL trial is underway, and it's not just the YSL trial. Freedom of speech is on trial. Hip hop is on trial. All right. Like, a lot of people want to bring up the freedom of speech card whenever it suits them and benefits them. And they don't care about freedom of speech when somebody that they don't like is being crucified by it, right? And you see this all the time. You see that with the war versus the left and the right. Everybody, wants to have their rights protected only when it benefits them. You also seen that on the Tory Lanez trial. And it's some scary-ish that we're living through right now. Because whatever you say, Susie, Karen, Rachel, right? Whatever you say that goes against the establishment, just because they're in your favor right now, when all the people that you don't like is behind bars, executed, etc., and that bullet is turned at you, and you're going to be screaming, "What about my freedom of speech?" Well, pay attention to how your words can be used against you, even if it's art, even if it's artistic expression. Now, is Young Thug and YSL innocent? I don't know. They're going through the trial right now, and we'll see how the facts play out. But to start this is some very nasty stuff. Now, my man, I want to say that he is the people's lawyer and correspondent. He has some very interesting take on this, right? So we gonna hear, I know I made the little reaction video, to the judge reading the lyrics. It was funny because if you grew up in my era and watched the Boondocks, it's very similar, you know what I mean? And Gangstalicious, very similar to Young Thug right now. You know what I'm saying? Just self-snitching on the record, and they're going to be using those lyrics against him. So there was a reason why the judge read the lyrics. So we're going to let Lawyers for Workers tell us that reason, and then we're going to come back and conclude.
We now know why the judge was reading in open court the Young Thug lyrics. Apparently, this is the process that they're following to start this trial. Potential jurors are being brought into the court in groups of 200 or 300. They are being played a recorded video of the judge reading the indictment. The prosecutor's, it's like 80 pages, 100 pages. He's just reading it. It takes about 3 to 3.5 hours to watch the judge read this indictment. The indictment contains the song lyrics, including F the judge, all that. Let's talk about a criminal trial. Let's talk about the idea that what's supposed to happen is impartial jurors come into court. They're not supposed to know anything about the case or have any preconceived ideas about the case, and evidence is supposed to be presented to them. In this case, the first thing that these potential jurors, every juror, will have done is listen to the judge read them for 3.5 hours a document written by the prosecutor, which includes song lyrics of a gangster rapper. And then that jury will be asked to decide whether or not this person is guilty of a RICO charge, which to the common person might just mean, I don't know, he's in a gang. I don't know what the hell a RICO charge means. So that's how we're going to start this trial in the great state of Georgia. To me, I don't understand in what world you can have a gang case that is proceeded by the judge telling every single potential juror for 3 to 3.5 hours, reading them the lyrics as quoted by a prosecutor in an 87-page indictment, in an 87-count indictment. My head is spinning. This is not a case where criminal lawyers are going to be enough. You need constitutional lawyers. You need due process lawyers. You need civil rights lawyers. You need lawyers who are sitting there watching every single thing that happens throughout this entire process and gets ready to challenge it on procedural grounds, on due process grounds, on basic human rights, constitutional rights grounds, because that's not how you start a trial.
As you can see, man, very passionate guy. You know what I mean? Like he's on the people's side for real. Like, again, I'm not here to say Young Thug YSL is innocent, but the way that they're conducting and framing this trial, it ain't right at all. It doesn't take a lawyer to realize, like, yo, you're trying to bury this man under the jail and not give him a fair shot to prove his innocence. This is exactly what happened to Tory Lanez. This is exactly what's going to continue to happen to rappers. This is exactly what happened to my man Casanova. Like, these lyrics will be used against you. So now what happens when and this is me being fair, by the way, what happens when your favorite news anchor or like your favorite influencer says something on a platform saying that is artistic expression and it indirectly causes a crime with misinformation? Is this person going to be liable? That's what we're looking forward to in the future, man. So this case, again, is not just YSL, Young Thug, Gunna on trial. This is hip hop, freedom of speech, your rights as a human being, man. And get away from all of your feelings and emotions and just look at what's happening in real time. Like, your rights are being stripped away. Yes, it's entertaining to watch this. It's our new OJ trial. It's our new Snoop Dogg versus the People's trial. What else? This is NWA. This is NWA all over again. Again, like people say, like history repeats itself. It doesn't necessarily repeat itself, but it do rhymes, right? Young Thug is the new NWA, the new Ice-T, the new Snoop Dogg is just wrapped up in a different clothing, and they're trying to call it something else. But we see you, man. I'm gonna keep my eye on this closely because, again, yo, this ain't just about Young Thug. This is your freedom of speech. This is hip hop, artistic expression used against you to put you under the jail. Also, you can also see this happening with Andrew Tate as well. They're using all his interviews against him. Like, never mind the context, as long as the context fits in the frame of the story that I'm going to use to try to convict this man or these people. Yo, man, keep your head on a swivel. It's cold world out in these streets, man. Anyway, don't forget to drink water, get money, mind your business. I'm out.